Down to the courthouse in Los Angeles, a Superior Court judge has dismissed the extortion and defamation lawsuit filed by Jay-Z government name Shawn against Houston attorney Tony Buzbee. So this legal entanglement begins with all the ever-widening scandal around the Sean Combs Diddy lawsuit, where Buzbee, made claims that there were other celebrities involved. He had represented dozens of people with the intent to sue Diddy. So out of that, he represented two women who claimed that they were assaulted by Diddy and Jay-Z. In November of 2024, Buzbee sent Jay-Z's lawyers two demand letters accusing Jay-Z of sexually assaulting two minors decades ago, giving him the choice of either attending a confidential mediation where something of substance would be given to the victim, or any alternative to face a lawsuit. Jay-Z declined the mediation. One of the victims sued Jay-Z, the other one did not, filed a complaint in federal court in New York, claiming that Diddy and Jay-Z sexually assaulted her after an MTV Music Awards after party in 2000. Jay-Z then sued Buzbee for the demand letters, claiming that it was extortion, and then for defamation because of the interviews that Buzbee did around all this time where these cases were being filed. He also filed for defamation against Buzbee, and that was related to the interviews that Buzbee was doing, where he suggested he was going after anybody who was participating in the freak-offs. Buzbee then immediately filed an anti-SLAPP motion. An anti-SLAPP motion is just a legal maneuver to quickly dismiss lawsuits that are filed to stifle First Amendment speech and public participation. SLAPP stands for Strategic Lawsuit Against Public Participation, and it really is just a maneuver to try to get the case easily dismissed. The timeline: after Buzbee filed this lawsuit, the victim eventually dismissed her lawsuit. There was a lot of inconsistencies in her story. Her lawsuit ended up being dismissed. There were 3 months of hearing on Jay-Z's motion for defamation, extortion, and Buzbee's anti-SLAPP motion. It ended at the beginning of July with a ruling from the judge stating that the demand letters were not extortion. His ruling states that they did not qualify as extortion because they did not threaten Jay-Z with anything more than a lawsuit. As far as the defamation suits, the judge found that the statements were just vaguely alluding to celebrities that the attorney might be targeting, that Buzbee never specifically named Jay-Z in his interviews or his social media posts, that the only time that Jay-Z's name was made public is when the victim filed the lawsuit against Jay-Z. The judge did conclude his ruling stating that even after all that was said, decided that his court was only the first stop on the parties' anti-SLAPP motion journey, that it will be for the Court of Appeal to determine whether or not he got it wrong or right, and whether this suit should move forward or to end. Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, has told the media that they have already decided to appeal this ruling. Tony Buzbee, of course, made a statement that regardless of how Jay-Z spends it, he's going to lose. So how do you feel about this suit being dismissed? I do agree that the demand letters are not extortion unless it specifically said, pay us this and we'll drop the lawsuit. It was mediation of lawsuit, which is typical in a demand letter. How do you feel about the defamation claims being dropped though? Even though Tony Buzbee never specifically said Jay-Z's name, a lot of us speculated and assumed that's who he was referring to because he kept saying that the celebrity was of the same or higher stature than Diddy. And how do you feel about Jay-Z? Do you think he did the correct thing, filing the lawsuit for extortion and defamation to stop Buzbee in his tracks? Or do you think that Jay-Z took it too far? Because the victim had already dropped her lawsuit, had already been dismissed. Do you think that his lawsuit against Tony Buzbee was appropriate, or did he take it too far? Let me know your thoughts. Until next time.